Hello friends, welcome to Insights Again initiative, and I am really thankful for you to watching these videos and encouraging me all this way. So in today's video, we are going to discuss about following 4 topics. By the way, till this IFOS exams mains are finished, I am not going to include this theme of the day because I am a little bit busy with some of the students who are writing the IFOS mains. So please try to understand, once these IFOS mains are done, then as usually I will try to include the theme of the day. Okay. Now, as today's topics, we are going to discuss about following 4 topics. One is CCPA, it is related to international relations, APEC, again international relations, IPEF, IR, and finally Windfall tax. Okay, Windfall tax. This is regarding the economy. Now let us see CCPA, comprehensive. Okay, sorry, Central Commission Protection Authority, Central Consumer. Hello friends, welcome to Insights Again initiative, and in today's video we are going to discuss about following these 4 topics. By the way, I am really thankful for your continuous cooperation all this way, and till this for Indian Forest Service mains are done, I am going to a little bit busy with some of the students, so I am unable to include the theme of the day. Once the IFOS mains exams are done, that is by December 2nd, from 3rd December onwards, I will include the theme of the day back. Okay. So now, meanwhile, in today's video, we are going to discuss about first CCPA. It is about the Consumer Protection Authority related to governance. Then APEC, IR, IPEF, IR, and Windfall tax economy. These are the 4 topics we are going to discuss in today's video. First, let us see CCPA. You might have heard that the CCPA stands for Central Commission Protection Authority, Central Consumer Protection Authority. Recently, Central Consumer Protection Authority in news. Even in today's Hindu newspaper also, in the text and context, they given this Central Consumer Protection Authority. In the context that CCPA given notices to some of the coaching centers which are providing the civil service coaching. Because even though those coaching centers are not part of the student success, they are claiming the ranks. Not only claiming the ranks, that claiming also misleads prospective students. That means you are misleading the prospective customer by misleading ads. This is nothing but violation of the consumer protection and violation of the consumer integrity and consumer faith. When in this way, when consumer being misled by misleading act, then Central Consumer Protection Authority can take action. Actually, these stringent laws, they been implemented with the new Consumer Protection Act, which was started in 2019. According to the new Consumer Protection Act, even the penalties, they ranged from 1 crore to 10 crores. Previously, penalties from 20 lakhs to 1 crore. Now almost all 10 times penalties increased. Even nowadays, according to the new law, we are having the product liability. That means if product is not working properly, then obviously the producer is responsible. Consumer can take compensation from the harm caused by the product. Okay. For example, you are driving a bike with a new clutch wire. The clutch wire is not working properly, and because of that you subjected to minor accident. That accident, because of that accident, whatever the damage incurred to you, those damages also have to be paid by that product manufacturer. That is known as product liability. And according to the new act, complaint can be filed by complainant, that means consumer, wherever he lives. Previously, they have to file a complaint where the company headquarter is registered. These are some of the modifications or amendments which are implemented according to Consumer Protection Act 2019. So Central Consumer Protection Authority, they started taking action on 20 IAS coaching institute for misleading claims, and this may leading to unfair trade practices. Tell me students, why so many students, in spite of the coaching centers are giving these kind of misleading advertisements, why still students are getting misled? Is it because of the lack of awareness, or it because of the peer pressure or social pressure? What are the reasons? The Consumer Protection Act 2019, it replaced the original one, Consumer Protection Act 1986, so that it increased the scope of the consumer protection. The new act recognizes offences such as providing false information and false information regarding the quality of the product or services. Even the misleading advertisements also will be attracted to punishment. It also specifies action to be taken if goods and services are found dangerous, hazardous or unsafe. In this condition also, that product manufacturer becomes a liability. What is the mandate? This, according to this act is mandating that to protect the rights of the consumer by cracking down unfair practices as well as false and misleading advertisements. And concerned ministry, this like Central Consumer Protection Authority, it works under the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. Powers of CCPA, they can investigate the violations of consumer protection and they can recall the unsafe goods, and even they order the companies to discontinue unfair trade practices as well as misleading advertisements, and certain situations even they can impose the penalties as well. These are the powers given to the CCPA. The second one is APEC, Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation. You know that APEC meeting held recently in USA, and this APEC is a trade platform. Whenever you are reading this kind of organization, first you have to know what is the nature of this organization. The nature of the organization is trade in nature. Then whether India is having the membership or not. No, India is not having the membership in this. Okay, these two objectives you have to know. Then what is the main objective of this organization? This organization is trying to facilitate the trade across the Pacific Ocean, especially to counter China's growing influence. You know that to counter the China's growing influence, especially in the Pacific region, America is very effectively using APEC as well as the IPEF, Indo-Pacific Economic Framework. We will discuss that in the coming slides. Okay, and the importance of this meeting is after 1 year, both American as well as US presidents, they are going to meet an offline meeting. So these are the member countries. In fact, India requested for membership in this organization, but of course the organization will be given based on consensus method only. That means all the member countries have to agree. Some member countries are not agreeing India's entry into this organization because they are complaining that India is following the protectionist policies in economy. That means India is imposing a lot of taxes on the foreign goods compared to the domestic goods. And India geographically is also not related to this region. That is the reason there are certain objections raised when India requested for joining into this particular group. Asia Pacific Economic Framework recently held their meeting in USA. It was formed in 1989. It accounts for 62% of the global GDP. And whatever the decision it takes, they are non-binding in nature and decisions will be taken based on the consensus. And the group's main focus is economics. And the theme of this year is creating a resilient and sustainable future for all. Member countries, 21 member countries. India formally requested for this, for membership in this group. Why India requested? Because India aiming to become a 5 trillion economy. In this context, we need to attract lot of FDI. Member countries in APEC, most of them, they are having the surplus investment. They can invest in our India. There is a reason we are a little bit more interested to get membership in the APEC. Now the third one, IPEF, Indo-Pacific Economic Framework. Actually, this was launched by America in one of the previous year G7 meeting, and it can be seen as direct response against China's RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Framework. Okay, the only difference between the RCEP and IPEF is RCEP is a free trade agreement, whereas the IPEF is not a free trade agreement. And of course, India did not join unconditionally in the IPEF. India categorically declined few clauses in this agreement, and India is comfortable with other clauses. So India did not completely join on this agreement. Indo-Pacific Economic Framework. Recently, this particular framework, it was signed to strengthen the supply chain across the Pacific Ocean, proposed by USA in 2022, last year G7 summit. It is intended to mainly advance the sustainability, inclusiveness, as well as economic growth, fairness among the member countries. IPEF, it is seeking to complement and build on the existing regional architecture. Okay, it includes 14 partner countries, and this particular grouping also includes helping to each others in terms of disaster resilience as well. IPEF is not a free trade agreement like I told you earlier. India and IPEF, India has been actively participating in the IPEF, but not in all the pillars. We have certain objections. That is the reason India conveyed its conditional acceptance, not the unconditional acceptance. Now, the fourth topic, windfall tax. First, you have to understand what is the meaning of windfall. Windfall is nothing but unexpected profits. Actually, oil companies, these shell companies, these crude oil companies, during the COVID times, they faced losses. After the COVID times, because of the surge in demand for oil and because of the war between the Russia and Ukraine, due to these reasons, global oil production somewhat slowed down. In these circumstances, oil companies, they got unprecedented profits, unexpected profits. When a particular company got unexpected profits, then if tax imposed on that unexpected profits, that is known as a windfall tax. Normally, UNO even called for the windfall tax on the crude oil company, and whatever the tax proceedings generated from the tax, that money should be used for the people who are suffering in various countries, like in Ukraine people are suffering, even in the Turkey after the earthquake, and Gaza people are suffering. So try to spend the money over there. That was a UNO call. Anyhow, government reduced the windfall tax on the domestically produced crude oil up to 6,300 per ton. Windfall tax is a tax, taxing the profits which are derived from the unexpected, unprecedented event. This cannot be, we cannot attribute these profits to the business strategy or active involvement of the business. These are simply unanticipated as well as unearned. You did not put additional efforts for earning these profits. Government generally levies tax on these profits in the form of windfall tax. So the levy on the fuel exports, it is based on the margins. Now the fuel companies, they received high profit margins due to various reasons I told you. Due to the surge in demand after COVID-19, due to the Russia-Ukraine war, because of all these things, they got the high profits. The rising profits means obviously, okay, they got lot of money. Even the UNO also called for that government should go for this windfall tax, so that additional money generated from this tax can be useful to support the most vulnerable people who are living in these difficult times. Yesterday's video question, with reference to the adultery, consider the following statement. Out of these two statements, which one is right? Under the section 397 of the IPC, adultery was a criminal offence in India. That was section 497. Second one, section 497 does not enable a woman to file a complaint against her husband when he has had sexual intercourse with another woman. Yes, women don't have that option. Okay. And today's question, which of the following countries are the members of IPEF? Okay, look at all these four countries and pick the right one. Which one is a member of the IPEF? Mains question, explain the salient features of the Constitution 101 Amendment Act. Do you think it is efficacious enough to remove cascading effect of taxes, provide for common national market for goods and services? Do you really think that this removing this cascading effect and providing a common market will help to the Indian economy? That means this question is mainly focusing towards the various benefits of the GST. Now, as we reach to the end of this video, let us see the topics. Quick revision. In this particular video, we discussed about CCPA, APEC, IPEF and windfall tax. And this is the detailed analysis of the current issues of today. Thank you.